Previously, in the dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party was exploring the northwest bounds of Mural's Gauntlet in the pursuit of one of the artifacts Matashtai hunted for on his quest to become the champion of Boldre. Their search had brought them to a massive chamber, part arcane laboratory, part morgue, filled with bodies in various stages of preservation and decay. As soon as they entered, Ashes was struck by a disgustingly saccharine stench that took him to his knees, as an equally sickly sweet voice called out from the darkness, inviting the party in, not as welcomed guests, but as new bodies for experimentation. The party readied themselves, as out from the piles of bodies rushed dozens of ghouls. After catching the first wave and throwing it back, the source of both the stench and words came into view. A strange-looking ghast, armed with the tools of both a surgeon and a tailor, floated out of the darkness on tendrils of dark power. These tendrils, which lifted the creature some 20 feet into the air, emerged from two bracers the ghast was wearing. And upon seeing the hearth-emblazoned bronze armaments, Matashtai knew them as the items he sought. Ashes rushed the creature, but passed harmlessly through the tendrils. Matashtai decided to attack from above, rushing up the wall and along the ceiling before falling down on the creature in an attempt to drag it to the floor. The monk was partially successful, managing to grapple the creature midair, but not managing to take it to the ground. Meanwhile, Mossy and Bones provided a wall for Ezrah against the waves of ghouls, and the trio methodically destroyed several of the undead. Though, as more kept coming, it became increasingly difficult for the trio to assist Matashtai and Ashes. The creature and its tendrils proved challenging for the monk and the blood hunter to fight. It was able to guard itself, keep itself aloft, and attack all at the same time, and since it seemed as if Matashtai couldn't take it to the ground alone, Ashes decided to join the two of them in the air. Using the recently acquired magnetic chain, Ashes grappled one of the bracers and hoisted himself into the air upon the creature. The combined weight of this new trio began to prove too much for the tendrils, and they began to drift slowly downward. Still, the three of them remained aloft, and the creature began to pull back into the darkness, away from Bones, Ezrah, and Mossy. Matashtai began to hack and slash at one-armed and called for Ashes to do the same. Their focus was too much for the creature to bear, and a moment later, they rent its arm from its body, sending the bracer attached to it scattering to the ground. Half of the tendrils were gone. The ghast could no longer keep itself floating, attacking, and defending at the same time. The fight had begun to turn. As a new wave of ghouls arrived back at the entrance, Ezrah unleashed a torrent of magical, radiant energy, causing the wave to disintegrate and freeing Bones to rush forward. The tabaxi entered the fray, wounding and distracting the now barely floating ghast. The creature began to cry out, begging the party to leave, to head through the portal after its recent visitors, a group of drow, but there was no mercy to be given. Ashes and Matashtai hacked into the creature, with the monk delivering a fatal blow. Moments later, the remaining ghouls in the chamber convulsed and dropped to the ground, the necromantic energy maintaining them no longer present. In the aftermath, Matashtai pulled the bracers from the ghast, wiped them off, and clicked them into place around his forearms. The Halaster immediately felt the connection of the artifact and felt his own power burgeoning within as he took one more step towards his goal. But whatever brief moment of celebration that existed after the victory vanished, as Bones looked to the archway the ghast had pointed out. Bones recognized that gate, knew it was connected to the Lost Levels, where the Skull Takers resided. The ghast had said drow had recently passed through, and Bones was suddenly filled with dread. The party, realizing what it might mean for the drow to be heading to the 6th level, activated the portal and rushed in. As they entered into the silvery arcane bloodstream within Undermountain, they felt a familiar presence. a good presence. A presence that had been guiding them, ushering them forward. They all heard in their minds, "You must hurry. They need you." Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.